What's up, everyone? I know I'm on here early. There is a Bandhammer shirt, of course, XXL. We have all the sizes, Brett. I think there's like 6 sizes or something. I keep forgetting to go to that Smash Mouth video and tweet something. It just skipped my mind again today. Man, unbelievable. So I'm on early tonight. Wanted to announce the new merch. So I've got three t-shirt designs, 2 mug designs so far. One of the mugs is the Bandhammer mug with Boom. The other one is the link for merch. Just go to my store and there's a merch. It goes right to merch. Just click on the store. There's a merch tab. Or you go to the shop and there's a merch tab. But I have my Triad cheat sheet mug, which I ordered for myself so I don't forget what notes are in. So I don't forget what notes are in a major, minor, diminished, or augmented, or sus4, or Phrygian, or Locrian triads. There you go. The Smash Mouth parody is fun. Yeah, I know. I gotta. Has anyone? I haven't even looked at it since the other day, since it came out. So yeah, the link for the merch here. I'll tell you what. I can probably paste it in here. Let me see. I'll go right to the page. It's right. Let's see. Shop merch. Right here. Yeah, the discount code for the book that I put in earlier today is still good until midnight, so 4 more hours that I did on my live stream. I'm not going to be doing any discounts for that. That's going to be a rarity. Not found? Well, it's got to be found. 404, come on. That's not true, is it? You know what? That's probably just go into my website and maybe I don't know. I don't know why that is. Just go to my website. You'll find it. I'm sure that you can get it. Yeah. Just go to continue shopping. It works. Yeah. Anyways, so there you go. We'll be adding more merch too. Does a Beato book discuss how to create a sense of forward harmonic movement within modal context? Of course it does. Is there an order of chord names? The order, yeah, so it's all the triads on one of the mugs. So it starts with augmented, and it goes augmented, Lydian, sus4, major, minor, what is it then? Diminished, sus2, then Phrygian, then Locrian triads. The chord names seem random. They're not random. They just move down. You start with the highest note, sharp 5, and you move from there. Sharp 5, natural 5 with a sharp 4, sus4, major. That middle note keeps moving down. Minor, then the top note moves down. There's no logical progression on that. I could have put diminished last, but I'll put the ones with the flat 2s last, since they're belong to the family of the sus 2s. Still 404 on the merch, Rick. Well, you're looking in the wrong place. Go to my website and change your browser or something. I know it works. I've gotten on it. Anybody else having problems getting to the merch? You want to ask me about negative harmony pin? Don't ask me about negative harmony. Somebody asked me about negative harmony today on the live stream. I said I got a whole video on it. Hit the shop tab, then merch. That's right. Google Chrome. I pretty much only use Google Chrome these days. I use Google Chrome. I really because Aaron says that. Oh, continue watching. Yeah, there you go. No need to change browser. Just go to rickbeato.com and scroll down. There you go. That's so you can punch them in the face if they ask. Yeah, so I did get the question today in the live stream about the melodic minor scale, ascending, and the natural minor descending. Instead of my joke video, I actually explained it. For those of you that watched the video today, you know, I've talked about these things. It's interesting. I don't think I've actually gone in and just done a straight, how do you know what key you're in? How do you know when you're in a minor key video? I don't think I've ever done that. But it's funny because I think about these things like what have I done videos on, what haven't I done videos on, and so many things I haven't done videos on. Chris, what is negative harmony? Just search it on my channel and you'll find it. I think the video was called Musical Palindromes and Negative Harmony. The comments got a bit wild towards the end. Nerd, I honestly did not look at the I didn't look at the comments because Carol was doing the Carol was monitoring the, what do you call it? Monitoring? More classical Rick versus jazz Rick. You can order from anywhere, Dundo. Anybody can order from anywhere. Isn't that right, Aaron? Aaron set it up, so you know that it's moderating is the word. Surely you are. Surely you are. Surely you are moderating. We need a baseball cap that says no caps. Aaron, you write that down. I like that. All in caps. That's a good one. No caps. All my weird idiosyncrasies, right? And meh. We can put that in there too. You know, when Carol's moderating, I was kind of cracking up because when she no hearts. That's right, no harps, no hearts. He's not Shirley. Right, exactly. His name is. I think that Carol's wondering what kind of questions she can ask during the live stream. She's always looking at me and it's like, just ask me whatever. What are people asking? Surely you are. Is that so? So University of Rochester. That's your U of R. Nice. My sister worked at the U of R for 40 years. Oh, she wouldn't want anyone to know that, but she's retired. This is the only scale I use. No. What's your favorite scale? That's my favorite question. What's your favorite scale? Oh, Carol's great, Ron. She's but she still doesn't know what to ask. What's up, Mark? So the merch, go to the website and you'll find it on there. Go look in the shop. Go to the pull down menu. Hit merch. Anyways, so it was interesting because one of the questions that was asked today, that was actually a good question. What's up, Joe? Was how do you know when you've actually modulated to a new key? And that's actually a great question. These are things that you learn if you go to music school and you take music theory. But there are, you know, one chord does not make a modulation. That's one of the things that you need to know about. Um, that it's Ron, it's PayPal or credit card, right, Aaron? Yeah, you can use credit card on it. Um, and there's a discount for the book only till midnight. And it's RB20, like 2.0, but just 20. Why does Victor say there's more than 12 scales? Ask him. Carol, what's up? There you go. What is banhammered, Andrew? Banhammered is when some wise guy gets on here and I ban them. And I go, boom! You know, Victor's thing, why he talks about, well, I don't want to bring that up. His about his 15 keys, 15 major, 15 minor. He just goes further on the circle of fifths, and he talks about F flat and E sharp, things like that. C flat and B sharp. But to the ear, they don't sound any different, right? So Greta Van Fleet, I was talking with a buddy of mine today about them, and he overcounts enharmonics. That's actually worlds. That's perfectly put. Overcounts enharmonics. So Greta Van Fleet, what was I listening to today? Let me turn this down so I don't accidentally play one of their songs. Yeah, here we go. What record was I listening to? Let's see here. Was it Flower Power? Was that the tune? That let's see here. I think it was Flower Power. Yeah. Which is pretty much, they start with the rim shots like Zeppelin, and that's about the only similarities. But the guitar sounds are incredibly thin. They need to find a producer. I shouldn't say that. I don't know who produced it. Probably maybe somebody who's really good. But it's just there is no. It's like people. They're the new Zeppelin. I mean, come on, give me a break. They have no riffs. They need to get some riffs if they want to be the new Zeppelin. Rob, awesome. Greta Van Fleet or Capital Basel. Let's see. They're doing it deliberately in the open. Well, look, bands like Rage Against the Machine really wrote riffs like Zeppelin, except they had their own sound. And they had incredibly good guitar sounds and things, and they had great sounding records. So that was you want to find a band that has Zeppelin-esque riffs. That's Audio Slave and Rage, really. I mean, Tom Morello wrote incredibly good riffs. Now, none of these bands, though, have a John Bonham. I mean, really, that is an innovator like that and had his kind of feel, was a thunderous drummer like that. Cochise. I mean, there you go, right? I mean, that is really the. They don't have John Paul Jones either. Thank you, Brett. And look, I'm not one of these guys that's like, there can't be any new bands, people can't do it better. But it's like, okay, come up with some great riffs, Come up with some great riffs, some real riffs. I don't mean a bunch of drop D riffs. I don't mean a bunch of, although Tom Morello did a lot of drop D riffs, but they were incredibly cool riffs. Anyways, but it's really hard to it's really hard. Billy Squier sounds like Zeppelin. I saw Billy Squier at a rehearsal space in New York about, oh boy. I'm trying to think. It was more than 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that. 20 years ago? I can't remember. It's amazing. Blew me away. The Datsuns. You learned today that Jimmy Page is Led Zeppelin's guitarist. Okay. Do you deliver to Mexico? Aaron, they deliver everywhere, right? Aaron, you there? I think it delivers everywhere. Sync Lab, I think it does. You saw the Firm live. Well, there you go. There you go. If you I'm going to do something sacrilegious here. I better not play it on the classical. Hold on. I wonder if I play Zeppelin licks, will it get You saw Zeppelin in 75. Wow. So when you get Rage, forget it. Those riffs, forget it. That's that's as good as if you think about what are Zeppelin's best riffs, though, right? Yeah, he's got that. Right? There's that. Then there's there's just too many Zeppelin riffs. There's so many good Zeppelin riffs. But Rage, STP, all these bands. STP had some incredible Zeppelin moments, Zeppelin-esque moments, and they did. So Rage would, STP would do things where they would take some of the the chords that that Jimmy Page would do in some of the I'm trying to think of. What are the STP songs that are very Zeppelin-esque? Was there between a riff and a motif versus a lick? I guess you could say that. Come on, all these things are kind of interchangeable. All those terms. There's John Paul Jones talking about WLL asking if any of the tabs are correct. He says no. Dennis, what's up? Yes, international shipping is available. Plush could be a Led Zeppelin tune, but not only Plush, but what's the tune? Uh, oh, jeez. I am, or so, no, there's some other really, really Zeppelin-esque songs that STP did. But come on, so many of Rage tunes have Zeppelin riffs in them. So many. I mean, both of those, and the I'm trying to think of what other bands from that era. So you had Soundgarden, you had Rage, you had STP that all had huge, huge. Tripping on a Hole. Thanks, Joe. Tripping on a Hole. Yeah. Dead and Bloated. Man, there's just. I mean, all three of those bands had Zeppelin influences in them. I mean, tremendous Zeppelin influences. But they were influences, not like they weren't trying to copy Led Zeppelin. That's the thing. So yeah, so that's really really interesting. Nirvana made a punk cover of Immigrant's Song. And then there's also Aero Zeppelin, their tune from their B-sides record. Zeppelin was much deeper. I mean, I don't disagree with that. You know, the one thing about Zeppelin is that is the experience that Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones had with really varied music. Just look at the recorder, the 4-part recorder part by John Paul Jones on Stairway to Heaven. Listen to the organ work that he does on, Thank You. I mean, there's so many examples of obviously Page had incredibly wide range of things he could do. All different types of acoustic music, in addition to all these, new sonic things with the, with the theremin, with everything, playing with a bow, everything. But then you put John Paul Jones in there. These guys were total pros, and then you have John Bonham in there. Back to the Pasture, there you go. John Paul Jones bass line on Ramble On. Exactly. The whole thing. I mean, the whole thing. Not just the A section, but the B section when it goes to F sharp. Incredible. Then you got, they had reggae influences. They had all these different, Zeppelin had so many different influences. I will say this, though, that Chris Cornell had really incredibly varied musical influences as well. If you listen to the tune Sun Shower, how many of you know Sun Shower? That was off the, it was a single on a movie. It was Great Expectations, something like that. The Sun Shower was... Sun Showers is phenomenal. The chord progression, because he's kind of merging the Led Zeppelin with the Beatles, and plus his own sensibilities on that tune. Not only Sun Shower, but then you get tunes like Pretty Noose. Pretty Noose was an incredibly cool song that. Pretty News was a great song on Down on the Upside. That was really, open tuning, really, really interesting guitar riff. And they even do the dun 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 into the chorus. That's incredible. Louder Than Love sounded very Zeppelin too. Maurizio, see, you're saying STP is Beatles plus Zeppelin plus 90s, which is really what Soundgarden was too. Soundgarden had those Beatles elements along with grunge, and then Zeppelin. What's up, Subi? So the book says 2.3. That's the newest version. I'm gonna send it out to everybody next week. There's only a few changes in it, but there will be a 2.4 eventually, probably in about a month or so. But there'll be very little difference between them. You probably won't even notice the stuff. But honestly, Nirvana. See, to me, Nirvana was very different because I know you guys know about my Nirvana thing, but songs like that, you can't compare. That is way more sophisticated in the melody. Da, 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 da. Then he does it like the da, da, da. I mean, come on, right? I mean, right there's so many incredibly great things. That is way more sophisticated than anything that was out then, really. I mean, you get your intro or your verse, but your intro. All the third related modulation. And the chorus, right? He's the one who likes all the pretty songs and likes to sing along. But he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means. When he says that More Than a Feeling was inspired by that, the only thing he says, he's just thinking about the rhythm. That's the only thing. I mean, obviously the chord progression is nothing like that. But that tune right there, what is it? In Bloom is way, way more sophisticated than I mean, it's got an incredibly sophisticated melody. And then stuff like all the stuff on you get Teen Spirit. I'm trying to think. Man, why can't I think of the songs here? I'm drawing a blank here. Well, Mark says all apologies, even though that's an E flat, but or it's dropped down half step, so it's like. up the tuning. Need a string change on this bad. Oh, God. Then the chorus. It sounds weird because it's a half step off. The sun, in the sun, I can't hear it in that key. Yeah, 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 yeah. Which is an amazing riff. And then on that, you know. And then the chorus. Those intervals are amazing. Let's see, wrong key still. It's killed me. I hate hearing it up a half step. It drives me nuts. But anyways, that's an incredibly great riff. So, once again, third related modulations, right? I also like he does on Francis Farmer. I'm just a confident being sad. I'm just a confident being sad. He sings a sus4 on that. So good. So good. He did all the vocals, or he did 80% of the vocals on the In Utero record in one day, and he spaced them out so that his voice would get more and more distorted as the session went on. Nirvana is really complex. Their melodies are way more complex than any. I mean, his chord progressions and melodies are super complicated. And honestly, the Incesticide, the B-sides record is incredibly good, which I haven't listened to in I probably haven't listened to it in 15 years. And, their harmonic progressions are much more sophisticated than Tool. They are. His chord progressions are way more sophisticated. Dive. I love Dive. Dive is a great song. And you know what? That Nameless, or what is it called? Nameless, Faceless. The melody, the way he can write these moving lines that flow over the chord changes. Oh my God. Kurt Cobain had one of the greatest senses of melody of anyone that's ever written any pop. Endless, Nameless. No. Was that what it's called? It was one of the demos that they released. In it was the last thing. No, it wasn't Endless, Nameless. It wasn't the last. I think that was the extra song on Nevermind. It was the one that was. Oh, geez. It was. I don't know. Did Cobain ever attend music school? No, I don't know. He didn't, but his aunt was a music teacher. His aunt that gave him the, yeah, it's not, I'm not talking about the hidden track on Nevermind. I'm talking about, no, I'm talking about the song that they released as a single way later on, 10 years ago that they released a missing track that was a cassette demo that, that is brother. I can't remember what it is. You Know You're Right. Thank you, Rob. That's what it is. You Know You're Right. That's what it's called. That's what I'm thinking of. You Know You're Right. There we go. Thank you. That's got an incredible melody in the chorus. A melody that no one would think of, I don't think. I've never heard anybody do. He can wind himself around a set of chord changes better than anyone. What an amazing gift of melody. That doesn't. I mean, to me, the only person that Kurt Cobain was like is John Lennon. Anyways, but his aunt was a music teacher. Will I get banned if I played it? I might. I'd love to play it, actually. I really want to play it. About a Girl. What about that, right? That totally changes key all over the place. It starts in E minor. Right? Then he goes. Unbelievable. Totally weird to go from E minor to D flat major, right? Unbelievable. Unwittingly modulating because he liked the sound. I don't know if he unwittingly modulated, though, Subi. I think he knew what he was doing. I mean, he couldn't tell you, oh, I'm going to this key or that key. He just knew he would come up with things that sounded good, and his ear was so good for melody that that he could sing, he could create these really, really anthemic, memorable melodies over the weirdest chord changes. And it didn't matter. He just could do it. And did he write any music down? No. And very few songs modulate as much as Kurt Cobain. Radiohead's, Radiohead's Everything in Its Right Place. That modulates a lot. Does it modulate as much as In Bloom? No, it doesn't. No way. I mean, that's the first part of In Bloom. Then you get to a totally different set of all third related things, right? Then the chorus. Then he's the one, he likes all of his songs, and he knows not what it means, knows not what it means. Then he's back to. That is way more sophisticated harmonically than any of these songs, than any of the Radiohead songs I can think of. I mean, that one's, I mean, Airbag, right? Airbag, but does it really change keys? No, I mean that's hardly, you know, yeah, that is hardly a Paranoid Android. Does that modulate that much? Does that modulate as much as In Bloom? I don't think so. I mean, the only other song I can think of that modulates like that is Black Hole Sun. I mean, right there, that's, I say that uses, what, 10 or 11 of the notes of the chromatic scale. He's using sus chords, 6 chords, power chords, sus chord. That modulates all over the place. Sun Shower modulates all over the place and uses a lot of chord changes. Sun Shower is unbelievable. That might be a song I could do for what makes this song great. But look, take a song like Leash from from Pearl Jam Verses, right? Da 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 da. That song changes keys all over the place. Super sophisticated. You know, and then, you know, if you look at the Pearl Jam on the first record, and that doesn't modulate, but that's an incredibly good guitar riff. I can't play with that pick. You can't really play it and hold the guitar up like this. There's a Dorian. This is Dorian. Blackbird. Blackbird changes keys a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's Blackbird does change keys a lot, but it's not the same way. Not the same way that Nirvana does, though, on In Bloom, anyways. But if you get into the sophisticated Beatles songs, like and you get into, you know, Strawberry Fields, that have really incredible melodies, or Something modulates all over the place. Tom talks about the odd meter stuff like the Ocean, Black Dog, Kashmir, the Cringe. Yes, so they're, I mean, Zeppelin did all those rhythmic things, but, you know, frankly, so did the Beatles. The Beatles had songs that would change meters all the time. She said, I was listening to a Revolver yesterday. She said, I know what it's like to be dead, and it's making me feel like you never been born. Da, 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 da. She said, you don't understand what I said. I said, no, no, you're wrong, you're wrong. When I was a boy, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, everything was right. 3, everything was right. Down, 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 down. She said, there's your Smells Like Teen Spirit and your More Than a Feeling. Dun, 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 right? She said, dun, 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 I know what it's on. Dun, 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 dun. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds changes keys all over. It really does change keys a lot. Um, the Beato Beatle a cappella. All You Need Is Love. That's in 7, right, Tom? I think that thing. The Beatles. I mean, they had the meter thing. They never thought about that. They had the meter thing down with those as well. Rain. I was listening to that the other day. So my favorite Beatles period, I always say this, is the Revolver. Rubber Soul to Revolver, but really really Revolver, and which includes Rain, which was on the which was not on a record. So you guys know the deal with this. You ever remember the Beatles Past Masters records? They had volume 1 and 2 that came out about 20 years ago. It came out in the 90s, the Beatles Past Masters. They took all the songs that were singles that came out in between records that were not on records, like Rain. All these extra songs that, I think We Can Work It Out was in there. There's tons of songs on those records. It was, there's just so many. They had so many unbelievably great songs that didn't even, that were on B-sides on singles and things like that were incredible. But it was a psychedelic part of these songs that, when you get, like, the melodies that I always dug, that I think made the Beatles. In Bloom is grunge giant steps, Rob. Okay, I'm going to quote you on that. I like that. In Bloom is grunge giant steps. There you go. That's perfect. Because it really is. It's all over the place. Who would do that? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. That is really, really totally weird. Unlike anything else. Good examples of chromatic runs in rock or jazz. Maybe I'm amazed. There's a great example of a chromatic run. Let's see. Reissued Rillo is great. Dazed and Confused. Great one. Willie. Great call on that. That is a, honestly, you forget about, Wings. There were so many great songs from Wings. Stairway to Heaven, Joe, changes keys, is all over the place. Is all over the place, key wise, in a way. But Something is definitely Something is one of the most, has a lot of modulations in it. But yeah, Zeppelin has, I mean, a lot of the, I mean, not only Zeppelin has line cliches, but a lot of the music from that time, Fixing a Hole, um, I mean, a lot of the Beatles songs, McCartney used a lot of line cliches in Beatles songs. Um, Band on the Run, change keys all over the place. Solo chromatic runs. You have melodies that chromatically change. Solo chromatic runs. I don't know. I mean, definitely, maybe I'm amazed has a chromatic run in it. Um, Stairway to Heaven is using melodic minor more than changing keys. No, I mean, no, um, no, I mean that's just a straight line cliche. That's My Funny Valentine. That's all the kind of songs from that, from the, you know, everything from the 40s and 50s. A lot of jazz tunes use line cliches like that. Use those exact same progressions. Day in the Life. Drying Stuff is a warm up. Some of Matheny's best were exercises. Are you going with me? Um, I love Are You Going With Me? Some of the Pat's best solos are on my bootlegs are on Are You Going With Me? But his solo on the live album on Travels on Are You Going With Me is incredibly good. That song keeps modulating up by half step too. So La Via Strangiato would take Rick 6 months. 6 months to do what? Come on, man. This is baby stuff. The Subi. 6 months. Come on, man. I mean, if I was going to go through, John Coltrane impressions solo for, that's like 50-page transcription that my friend Paul did, that might take a couple days to get through, but, come on. No offense to Alex Lifeson, but, to make a video? Yeah, that's true. Good point. To get through it. Brett, you just bought a GR300. Oh, man, that's old school. It's so great. I love those. Love those. Thick as a brick. I have some Jethro Tull, but I think Jethro Tull are blockers. You know that Chris Martin... No, it's not Chris Martin. No. I mentioned this before. Rick from The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln is married to Ian Anderson's daughter. Does anyone know that? It's a very weird. That's really, really. That's very cool, actually. What's his name? Clutterbuck. Andrew Clutterbuck is really his name. But he is married to Ian Anderson's daughter, and The Rock is married. The Rock's married to Sib, the drummer for Boston's daughter, Sib Hashian. The Rock is married to Sib's daughter, Sib, who passed away last year, unfortunately. Matt, you're giving up on Walking Dead. Okay, so I gotta tell you, I don't mean to go on because I gotta be done here in a second. But I've given up on The Walking Dead. I gave up on The Walking Dead last just before the break on this season, and I don't want to be a spoiler, but I just feel like they had jumped the shark, and I think that they should have. I think they could have ended it last season. And I missed the mid-season finale, and I haven't seen any of the new episodes. Walking Base. The Rock went to the elementary school where you teach, Brett. Come on. Is that actually true? That is completely random. I love that. Tom, The Walking Dead is boring now. I know, I agree. You know what? You know what it is? There's no hope in it. There's no hope in that world. It's like, come on, guys, find somebody that has a cure for this. Find it. Have a character that actually gets over this, that doesn't die or that dies and stays dead. Yeah, after they bashed Glenn's head, that was, you know what? I almost stopped watching it after that. That was really out of control. But it's like, come on, where's the hope? Mark, I did get the email, and I'll write to you. I watched the video and everything. I'll hit you back. Everybody dies. I mean, that's, Ron, the discount cuts off at midnight, my time, or Pacific time. Well, maybe I could extend it. I'd have to change it, but... Homeland, love it. The site, go to my website, and the code is RB20. Subi, Homeland is amazing. I love Homeland, and this season is insane. Last season was insane. No, Herschel died. Schizo. Herschel died and became a zombie. He did. I really Maurizio, Homeland. Oh man, this season is unbelievable. The thing about Homeland, honestly, is that you really can. No, he did turn, Schizo. He turned because Michonne killed. He had been beheaded, and she killed him. So season you can watch Homeland. You can pick it up this season and watch it. You could pick it up last season and watch it. I like British TV too. I like some British. Better Call Saul. Love it. One of my favorite shows ever. One of the few shows that I wait for. They've been too long since they had it back on, but I'm really and Subi, Ozark. I want to check out Ozark. I've heard Ozark is very, very good. But there's way too many shows to watch. I really, really love. I've heard Fargo's good too. I can veg out on TV. I love TV. You know, when my kids are on their iPads all the time, I don't freak out. I do freak out a little bit, and I make them put them down. But honestly, I think about how much TV I watched as a kid, and I would watch hours a day and never do any work ever. And it didn't affect me. I don't think. I think it actually affected me in a positive way. So although it is a little bit different when you're swiping and doing all this kind of stuff like that. There's no question about that. Explains a lot, nerd. Yeah, exactly, right? I used to do these things. So I loved horror movies when I was a kid. And if there was a great horror movie on, and it was on the weekend, I get the TV guide for all the Rochester. We only had 3 stations or so, and then you could kind of put a coat hanger up and try and get buffalo, but it'd look like a snowstorm. And so I would plan my whole day on days that there was a great horror show, and I would watch one show after another until that came up. That was my favorite thing to do. So if I had a show on at 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock on a Sunday or something, I would just sit there and watch everything. I'd play my whole day and watch shows up till that. Tom, I love Game of Thrones. I can't wait till the new one is on. I can't stand waiting for it either. I really want to, honestly, I want to rewatch it again. I want to watch, I might even go back and watch it from the beginning. Because it's unbelievable. Fright Night, Joe. There you go. Chiller Theater. The Fall. I love The Fall, Brett. The Fall was amazing. Really good. I mean, very, very good. How many of you saw The Fall? It's excellent. I do have some real pool. I have some Iron Maiden multi-tracks, definitely. Anyways, all right, I got to go here. I got to go. You can't afford to watch Game of Thrones. You could binge. Oh, man, it's so good to binge watch. You know what? I didn't get Game of Thrones. My wife said, oh, you got to get into it. It's going to take you a while. And my assistant, Ken, he would say, I couldn't get into it. I watched the first 3 episodes. I was like, I don't understand any of these people. I don't understand any of these names. And then finally I got through that 5th episode or so and I was hooked. And then I binge watched it and caught up. So anyways, all right, I'm out of here. You guys are awesome. Merch. The best.